Hello friends, welcome back, book besties. We are back with another books as Taylor Swift song recs video. I have my books here. I have some on that I read on Kindle Unlimited and then some physical books that I have. And then I have my notes with the lyrics and everything. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up, we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. I read this book like I want to say 2 years ago and I absolutely loved it. It is a New York setting. It's a second chance romance. It follows Matt and Gracie. They met while they were in school at NYU, so you get the NYU setting, which was I loved so much. It just feels like you're watching a movie every time you get a New York setting. And they were friends in university, and then something happens, and then they just kind of fall out. And then later on, like a couple years later, he thinks he sees her on the train, and he posts a misconnection, and he finds her, and it just follows their story from there. And the song I chose for this book is Maroon, and the lyrics, and I chose you, the one I was dancing with in New York, no shoes. Because literally they're just running around the city. Like they're just running around the city having fun. And it was just so awesome to watch. If I remember correctly, I think he's a photographer and she's like she plays like the violin or something, if I remember correctly. But it was just so good. I actually want to reread this because I remember loving it and I feel like I could appreciate it more the second time around. And we could not make a book recs video without including any book from the Magnolia Parks universe. So here I have Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, which is the second Daisy Hates book, and I believe the fourth in the universe. This follows Christian and Daisy, and also Daisy's brother Julian. I always mainly I love Christian and Daisy, but I love Julian even more. And I always see this book as like his book, specifically this one. I just, I'm giddy thinking about it. But the song I chose for this book is The One. Specifically, and if my wishes came true, it would have been you. In my defense, I have none for never leaving well enough alone. But it would have been fun if you would have been the one. He just is pathetic for the girl that is his interest in this book. I don't want to say who it is because I don't know if everyone has read Magnolia Parks. I assume yes, but in case you haven't, he's pathetic for her. Like, I just love it so much. And The One literally like just encapsulates their relationship perfectly because it's just, it would have been fun if he could have been the one. But yes, I cannot recommend this book enough. I cannot. I always will bring up this series somehow, okay? Just know that about me. And next we have an Ollie Hazelwood book, Love Theoretically. I love this book. It's actually one of my favorites by her. All her books are like pretty much women in STEM, which love that. We love strong independent women. And I feel like almost all her books follow like a very specific pattern, which is fine. And if they're like low-key like academic rivals or like a little bit of enemies to lovers. So this one follows Elsie and Jack Smith. Elsie is a theoretical physicist and Jack Smith is an experimental physicist, so they already have like opposing ideals. But what's interesting about this book is that her side job is actually to be a fake girlfriend, and she basically becomes whatever they want, and she becomes like a people pleasing person basically. So she changes herself for whoever she's with. She becomes all these different versions, like she's not ever herself. And it's really interesting. And like always, I love the academic setting. I love the scholarly situation. But I just found it so interesting that fake dating was like her side job. But what I chose for this book, the song I chose is Mirrorball, because she literally changes her personality all the time, except for him. I feel like she's different with him. The lyrics, I'm a mirrorball. I can change everything about me to fit in. That's literally what she does the whole entire book, because that's her side job. But yeah, this is a very good book. And I remember there was like a quote in here that I loved. Oh, that's so sweet. But you know what? I'm not gonna say it because it's a spoiler. But yeah, there's like a very nice quote in here towards the end. That every people pleasing person wants to hear, because a lot of us are people pleasers, sadly. Anyway, let's move on before I start overthinking. All right, the next book is actually one that I read on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited. It is Ghosted by J.M. Darhauer. This is another second chance romance. I love second chance romance. It's one of my favorite like tropes in books. It follows Kennedy, is that her name? Kennedy and Johnny, and they were like a thing in high school. I'm pretty sure the setting is like a town outside of New York. Like I think that's how, if I remember correctly, it's like a little town outside of New York. And they were a thing in high school, and basically it's kind of told in like the past perspective is told in her journal entries, and then the present perspective is like both of them. But he is like in the future, he's basically in the present, he's basically an actor, kind of like a Marvel actor, if you want to see, like he's part of a superhero franchise. And she is actually a single mom who just lives a regular life. And so years pass, of course, and he shows up, and he basically has to win her over, and he has to grovel, and he has to change because he actually has a lot of issues. So it just follows their story from there, and you can literally feel like the struggles that they're going through, specifically him. Like I really did understand his character. And the whole time I was reading this, I was just like picturing like a Chris Evans type, because he's like a superhero. He plays like this superhero. And yeah, I love that. I love the setting too, like the small town setting. I love the kid in this book. It was so cute. I normally don't like kids in books that much. I'm starting to be honest, but like this book, I just loved it. It was one of my first books that I read where there was a kid in it, besides like the Addicted Calloway Sisters series universe. And I actually really enjoyed it. And the song I chose for this book is Right Where You Left Me. Specifically, they expected me to find somewhere, some perspective, but I sat and stared right where you left me. Because I feel like this fits both characters, to be honest. Her specifically, because she's literally in the same town, just doing her like routine. Like I feel like she's not really living. And him, same thing. Like he's just like frozen in time. He's not really himself. So yeah, this book has my heart. I actually want to reread now. This is making me want to reread all these recs. Like, I guess that's a good thing. But I have a long TBR, so maybe that's not a good thing. Okay, another book I read on my Kindle. I'm actually gonna recommend 2 books from this series. This is like my favorite sports romance series ever. I'm feral for these characters. Oh, they're in my top 10 book boyfriends. But that is none other than Caught Up by Liz Tom Ford. Oh my god, I love that book so much. Like, oh, you guys are about to meet a part of me that you shouldn't, maybe. Not yet. Anyway, but it follows Kai, and what's her name? Okay, it follows Kai and Miller, and guess what? He is a single daddy, baseball player, and she is the daughter of the manager, I think. Yeah, the manager of the team. Ugh. And she becomes their nanny because she's like in between jobs at the moment, and that's like the best way for her to, you know, get some income and figure out what she's gonna do with her life. So she becomes the nanny for his baby. I think his baby's like 18 months old. It's very small kid, so very cute. One thing about me is I love a single dad nanny trope. I don't care how cliche it is. I just love it. But specifically with them, because he's like so closed off, and he's just daddy. Like that's all I can say. And then like the way he loves his kid, and he feels like a bad parent. Like he talks about that a lot, which as a parent, like I can relate. But like seeing a dad talk about that stuff, I'm like, oh, oh my gosh. Anyway, let's move on before I get more feral than I already am. The song I chose is Delicate, and specifically, we can't make any promises now, can we, babe? Sometimes when I look into your eyes, I pretend you're mine all the damn time. So two parts of that song. We can't make any promises now, can we, babe? Because her job is temporary. She's supposed to leave, you know? So yeah, that plays into the romance. And sometimes when I look into your eyes, I pretend you're mine all the damn time, because she's a nanny. And, you know, like, he sees her interacting with his kid and he just, like, pretends like they're family and stuff. So I'm feral for that book. Anyway, I cannot recommend it enough. 5 stars. That is one of the best book boyfriends of all time. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know what number he is, but he's up there. Anyway, the next one, just wait. Okay, next one. Play Along, Liz Tom Ford, in the same series. Caught Up is the 3rd book. Play Along is the 4th book. There's another book coming out next month in May. Isaiah Rhodes. Oh my God, another baseball player. He is the brother of Kai, okay? He is Kai's brother. He is silly, he is funny, he's so cute. He's like a golden retriever character, basically. But he's still dealing with some things, okay? And he is obsessed. He's been obsessed for the past 3 years with Kennedy, who is a trainer on the team. And something happens and they have to, like, pretend to be together. And he's just obsessed with her, guys. He's obsessed. Like, he has waited years for her. Years. He remembers everything about her. No. Because men like that don't exist. Anyway, like I said, before I get even more feral, because they're meeting a side of me that maybe, like I said, you guys shouldn't be meeting right now. But the song I chose is Dress by Taylor Swift. I'm gonna get a hold of myself now. My hands are shaking from holding back from you. All of this silence and patience, pining and desperately waiting. My hands are shaking from all this, and say my name and everything just stops. I don't want you like a best friend. Oh my God, guys. Yeah, you need to read this book. The first book it's called the Windy City series. The first book people don't love. I liked it. It wasn't like my favorite book ever, but it was like a solid 3 to 4 stars, you know? The Right Move was really good. That one was like a 4.5 stars. But Caught Up and Play Along were both 5 stars. I can't choose between these 2 men. They are both in my top 10 book boyfriends list. I don't know which one's first. I think Isaiah's first, and then it's Kai. But then sometimes I like watch Kai edits, and then Kai goes up. I don't know. I love them both. It's okay to love them both. Okay? It's okay. It's fine. I do it too. But those are on Kindle Unlimited. So read those, because the next book comes out May 22nd, I want to say. I don't know. I'll put it here. I'll correct if I'm wrong. But yeah. We're gonna move on. Okay, so next we have The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This follows Gigi Graham and Luke Ryder. Gigi Graham is the daughter of Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham from the Off Campus series. Oh my God, I ate this up, okay? I ate this up. So it starts off with like a little bit enemy situation, because Luke Ryder's school closed down. So now he's at Briar, and so is she, and they're both hockey players, but they come up with this like deal to help each other. So he needs help getting into this like program that Garrett Graham runs, and he hasn't made the best impression. So Gigi's gonna help him, and he's gonna help Gigi by helping her practice her hockey skills, because she's trying to get into the national team. And that's where the story begins. The spice, chef's kiss. Elle Kennedy like just knows how to write it. It just made sense for this book, and it was just so well done. The story, the plot, everything. I absolutely ate it up. And the song I chose for this book is Wildest Dreams. But this is gonna take me down. He's so tall and handsome as hell. He's so bad, but he does it so well. Yes, he does it so well. And it'll make more sense when you get to the end of the book, because there's something that specifically happens that is just wildest dreams. He said, let's get out of this town, drive out of the city, away from the crowds. I said, heaven can't. Okay, I'm gonna stop singing. But yeah, let me explain real quick. So Off Campus is the first series, okay? That follows Garrett and his friends, okay? And then we have the Briar U series, which also follows more characters from Briar U, a little bit more extended. And then we have the Campus Diary series, which actually doesn't follow all the kids from the Off-Campus series, okay? But you do see those characters here, which is like one of my favorite parts about the book. One of my favorite parts about the series, okay? Because I've read all the books in this series so far. So yeah, so I would advise read Off-Campus first. I believe that one's like 5 books. And then read Briar U, which is 4 books, and then this series. Off Campus is unmatched because there's just such a like found family. And I feel like Briar U lacks that a little bit. Like the characters don't feel as connected as they did in Off Campus. So Off Campus has my heart. Fun fact, Garrett Graham is actually the first my first book boyfriend. He's the first character that I ever identified as a book boyfriend. He is in my top 10. He's probably number 3. You know, I read better book boyfriends, but he's number 3 because I'm nothing if not a loyal bitch, okay? And I love him. He just gives me that nostalgia feeling. Like when I just got into reading, like I fell in love. I think I read The Deal in like a day because I was so in love with it. And I go back sometimes and I reread it. So yes, I could not recommend this series enough. It's like a fun time. You can't go wrong with this series. It was my first hockey romance series and I loved it so much, and nothing has compared so far except maybe the Windy City series, but that's technically not just hockey, it's just like a sports romance in general. But yeah, I can't recommend these series enough. I mean, not all the books are going to be, 5 stars, but they're a fun time and it's a good universe to be in. And yeah, let's move on. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, but fear not, because I have so many book recommendations for Taylor Swift songs, because that's literally all I do. I finish a book and I say, what song is this? What Taylor Swift song is this? So this is probably going to be a series, okay? If you like this, please let me know. If you want to see more, please like, please comment, please subscribe. I love recommending books, okay? If you want to hear me talk about books, I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it. You don't have to tell me twice, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.